Welcome to Numbers Simplified. In this channel, we seek to simplify and solve numerical problems. Today, we'll be looking at solving quadratic equations using completing the squares method. This is part 4. Make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss out on any of our future uploads, for we still have a lot of videos to upload on the quadratics series. I encourage you to subscribe and check out our previous videos, part 1 and part 2, prior to continuing watching the video. These previous videos carry a lot of insight, and I encourage you once again to check out the whole quadratics list, all on Numbers Simplified. Today, we'll look at the first example. Solve by completing the square. X squared plus 3x minus 81 is equals to 0. The solution. And recall from our completing the square video, this was part 3. We focus on the left-hand side. What we would do is take half of the coefficient of x, subtract it after we have squared it in this particular manner. X plus 3 over 2 squared minus 3 over 2 squared minus 81. So what we have done is take half of the coefficient of x. That is what we placed in the first parenthesis, that is squared. Then subtract that half that is squared as well. That will just take us back to where we are coming from, that equation there. Right, simplifying what we have on the left-hand side, we would get to that. And then we move on to solve for x. When we solve for x, we are going to have x plus 3 over 2 squared is equals to 81 over 4. Then we make sure that we remove the squared by introducing the square root. And remember, when we introduce the square root, we are going to have a plus or minus, so negative and positive, of what we have on the right-hand side. So with that, then we are going to move the 3 over 2 to the other side so that we have it as a negative 3 over 2 plus or minus the root of 81, 9, the root of 4, 2, that. So we separate these solutions, separating the negative from the positive so that we have two possible solutions. So that when we simplify the one with the negative, we get x is equal to minus 6 or x is equals to 3. Let's look at example 2. Solve by completing the square, leaving your answer in third form. 2x squared minus 8x minus 3 is equals to 0. The solution. And also recall from our completing the square video part 3, we focus on the left-hand side and take a look at this. The coefficient of x squared is not equal to 1, so we have to deal with that first. We take out, or rather factorize, the 2 outside the square parenthesis so that we have x squared minus 4x minus 3 over 2 in the square parenthesis is equal to 0. Then we perform the completing the square for the quadratics. So remember, we take half of the coefficient of x, that is what we have in the first parenthesis, and subtract the square of it. Then we also consider the part which is the constant term, minus 3 over 2. So with that, simplify further, we are going to get 2 times x minus 2 squared minus 11 over 2. So we are now solving for x. In solving for x, perhaps before solving for x, we can just introduce the 2 inside so that we have that step, then move on to solve for x. So as we solve for x, we are going to get x minus 2 squared is equal to 11 over 2. Then, of course, checking out our third form video, you would recall that we have what we would call irrational numbers, where we are saying that if we find the square root of a number, say 11, we wouldn't get an exact answer, so we would rather leave it in third form. So we covered third forms in our previous video. Make sure you check it out on Numbers Simplified. So we would have x minus 2 is equal to plus or minus the square root of 11 over 2. So moving the 2 on the left-hand side to the right-hand side, we are going to have that. And separating our solutions, the negative one from the positive one, we would get that. Now, the idea is this. If we introduce the square root sign, when the question is said in third form, if we come up with the decimals, it means we have failed to answer the question appropriately. So we'd rather leave it in this form over here because we cannot get any other exact form of the solutions. So our answers will be given in that manner. The positive one and the negative one is that. Right, if you've made it thus far into the video, I say congratulations to you. I'll leave you with the following task. Using the completing the square, solve 25x squared plus 40x minus 4 is equals to 0. Make sure you type in the comment section how you managed to solve this problem, and also let me know of any challenges that you might have faced in solving this problem. Subscribe so that you don't miss out on any of our future uploads once again. And remember, your experience in this session is valuable to us. Your preferred future topics, as well as questions, concerns, and suggestions. Make sure you type them in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching Numbers Simplified. God loves you.